with Manini prints. I'm going to show you how to make these SVG files for cash envelopes or budgeting envelopes with tabs and to put in the symbols in Inkscape so that you can use it in your Cricut or your Silhouette cutting machine. So first we're going to go into Inkscape, which is a free program, and we're going to start off with a blank screen. We're going to start off with our basic envelope shape. So we need to select here, which is the create rectangles and squares. We're going to need 2 squares to start off with. You make it whatever shape. You can have it filled in if you like by clicking down here. But what we're going to do is we're going to resize these squares. So for example, here, I'm going to work in inches. So we're going to assume we're working with the dollar, the US dollar. The first square I want to be, the width, 3.75 inches. And the height is going to be 7 inches. The other square, which is going to be the front part, I'm going to make 3.75 width, because it's got to be the same width, but it's going to be a little bit slightly smaller, 4.5 inches. So we can put these two together. Here I have snap on over here, snap the nodes. I'll make this a different color so it's easy to see. So now we have the basic shape. We are going to add on tabs to the left and the bottom part of the front, which again is going to be squares. I'm sorry, rectangles. Squares are just special types of rectangles. So we have to make this one 4.5 inches. That is not right width 0.5 inches or half an inch, and 4.5 inches high. It would be way too fat if it was the other way around. And I'm going to have that snap there. Make another one. This one's going to be 3.75 inches wide, which is the same width as this rectangle here, and a half inch high. So it's the opposite. I was misreading my notes. Okay. So what we can do now is make a triangle, which is this one here, and then you say 3 corners instead of the star. The star is going to make, I guess, a triangle if it's 3, but if it's 4, it would make a star like this, which is not what we want. Anyway, so we're just making a random triangle. It doesn't have to be precisely sized. I'm going to do something else with this. I lied. We're going to make these triangles, and I'm going to flip it. There. I'll make this a different color. So I'm going to copy, which you can copy or Control C. So I'm using the keyboard shortcuts, and paste, which is right click and Control V and paste. This one I'm going to flip over. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to make the tabs. So I want to cut away from this part, right? So I'll click on those two, and I go to Object, Path, and Difference, or Control minus. So usually I'll cut away. Same thing here. I'm just going to use the shortcut. Again, I want these triangles. That was not what I wanted to do. There we go. If you don't like the angle, you can always change this just by clicking it once and then dragging. So that resizes. Click once and it drags. So I just paste another one, and now I'm flipping, which is pressing here. So I can do both sides. Just bang them out at the same time. Click on both, Control minus, click on this one and this one, Control minus here. So here we have our basic shape. So we want to combine these, which is, not right path, right click again, path. We're going to do union, which is Control plus. I'm going to undo that. See, so somehow this did not click very well. Okay, so generally we have these two. Now I'm going to put this together. Which is Control plus, or again, Path Union. So now I want to make that triangle here, which you could do by making a triangle. Or what I find easier is to use this Bezier. I gotta move this because the controls for, oh no, the Bezier is fine. So I'll click here, it should snap to the nodes, and here. Double click, say you're ended. So now we're going to click this shape, and Control plus to combine them. Now you have it all filled out. You have tabs. I made a mistake, so I have to redo that. No, I didn't make a mistake. We're going to put those together again. Okay. If you want to have this a different angle, just so happens to be I chose the same angle, you can there. You can undo this first and remove this triangle and then click on this button or triple click on the shape. And you can actually move this shape, or if you want it round, which I have in my printable on Etsy that's available, I change this to auto smooth. And then I flatten this out a little bit. So you can do the same thing here. Auto smooth, flatten it out. So the trick with the flattening out is that you have to remember what this dimension is. So when you import it into Cricut's design space, you have to tell it what width or height to put it on. So you have to remember what size this is in inches. So once you do that, if you want it rounded like this, you can keep it that way and then snap this back on and then put this back together. Way more complicated than it needed to be. Anyway, so these are your tabs here. So you fold when you put them together. Now we can make the tabs. They're pretty easy. The easiest way to do is to start off with one tab and then just copy it and attach it to each other. So in this case, I did 0.5 inch tab width with a 1 inch height. That will make 7 tabs because it's 7 inches high here. And then all you do is just copy it and Control C to copy, or right click and copy, and then just paste 6 more of these. 6. I don't know if I did that enough times. And you see how it just snaps together? So what we're doing is getting the spacing right. 6 and 7. Excellent. You can make these different colors if you want, just to differentiate, but oh, I know what's going on. So here you can see where there's a little outline. That's because I have it filled out with a stroke paint, which is this button here. It looks like a brush. You can unclick that if you don't want to see it, but so it'll look like that now. It no longer has an outline, but I'm just going to leave it in for now. So we just have to make 7 more copies of the base. 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 more copies of the base. Sorry, math is terrible. And then we just copy all of these. Control C or right click copy. We attach this one. So this will be the first one. I delete every single other one in this instance. Therefore, I click these 2. I press Shift to click or I highlight. And you can go again, Path and Union or Control plus. Now you have the first tab. So then we work on the second one. Again, now we have to paste the previous set of 7, have it snap together. Now we have to delete the top one and all the other ones after that. Control plus to put them together. So you can see here, let me change the color here. You can see how the tabs are lining up with each other. So when you have it, you'll have gradated tabs. You do that for the rest of them. I won't do the rest here, but say you want it like I have here in my Etsy shop, where I have the symbols and the wording on the front of the tab. I'm going to flip this so I can see the front here. And then what I'm going to do is I have already made pre-made symbols. So for example, I want rent and the house to show up. I'm going to highlight those and copy it. And then using the control minus or the difference, I'm going to go ahead and delete this out so it's a cutout. But you have to go one at a time. So I click here, shift, and click the large folder. So you can see how it cuts it out. Same thing with here. So a comment on using script for doing the fonts is that the script often encloses the E and the R. I don't know if I can get, no. It will enclose things like the E and the R, O's, for example, P's oftentimes. So the problem with this is that when you cut it out on the machine, the center part here, I'll zoom in, will also cut out because there's no bridge. So you would have to put a bridge in. In my Etsy shop, I already have a set where all of these fonts have bridges already put in, and they're about 1/4 inch in size, so that they should be sufficient to hold up all of the lettering if you keep the same size that I already have it as in the SVG files. So if you want to do it this way, then you have to make bridges. I have another video on how to make bridges available, but essentially this is what you do. And then you import this file into your design space or your studio. I'm sorry, not your Silhouette studio, and have it cut this. You can, of course, have it do in design space. You can have it write out wording if you want with a pen. That's another benefit, but this way I don't have to worry about doing any editing in design space for the Cricut. So again, like I said, oftentimes when you get these files, you're going to have to change the size, which I have a video on how to do that. So again, if you like these, but you don't want to do all the extra work of creating the cute little symbols, I've done that already. It's on my Etsy shop. The blanks are also available. So if you want to pick and choose what you have, so you don't just have this set like what I have here with these 7, you can pick and choose. You can make multiple of the same tab. I have that available on the Etsy, which is, again, my shop is Manini Prints, and I've done all of these. And I do have both a Silhouette and a Cricut machine that I try these on. So hopefully you'll be able to make these yourself and make your own cash envelopes or your own budget envelopes. I think these would also work really well to hold receipts or coupons. I'm always losing coupons. So you can do the same technique for all of these. Thanks and enjoy.